Teresa is so stupid. I don't know what we gonna do with her. I don't know what's even the point of her being here, but I guess we're gonna see, child. It's your boy Jamar back with another video. Back with another banger. Today I'm reviewing Ruthless, Season 6, Episode 4, entitled The Well Runs Dry. And this was an okay episode. Okay, won't really all that, but it was okay. So let's just get right into the episode, y'all. The episode starts off, it's the next morning, and Elder Mother sees that River's laying out on the floor, and the Agonites are like guarding, the highest trader. So the Elder Mother's like, well, get River, to the infirmary. They're like, no, we don't follow orders from you, follow orders from the highest. She's like, well, let me go see the highest. He's like, no one could go see the highest. So she, the Elder Mother's having an issue with the Agonites. So then Manny comes and basically tells, he basically tries to get through to see the highest too, so he can let them know that Elder Mother wants to see him. They try to not let him in, but he's like, I'm an Agonite, just like you, let me in. So then, the highest and Ruth are in bed together, laying after, a night of making love. And, yeah. So then, Manny comes in and tells him that, the Elder Mother wants to see him. They bring the Elder Mother in. The Elder Mother basically says that Rivers isn't done yet, but, Rivers laying out, and he's basically like, bring Rivers to his trailer. And, she's basically asking, she was basically just asking him, what's going on and this and that and the third. And he basically told her that she needs to add more salt to her food. She was like, yeah, I'm coming to get Bruce so she can help me. And then Bruce suggests that the highest does an announcement. So he does his little announcement while George and Teresa are sneaking in. So George and Teresa are, trying to sneak in to do the water, to put laxative into the water. And George basically explains to Teresa everything that's been going on about the money and everything. And Teresa's like, after water, we need to go get this money if it's really $3 million. And he's like, no, we just need to get this water and get up out of here. So in the middle of George doing the water, Teresa ends up knocking him out twice and then choking him, I guess, to death. It was not really confirmed he's dead, but I guess we're going to assume he's dead for right now. So then she ends up taking his phone and calling Desiree and Kyle, and she basically says that one of the guards killed George, and she's trying to get out the compound. They're like, get out now. She's like, whatever, I gotta go. So then they're like, whatever. They're like, oh my god, what's going on? So then basically, Ruth and Joan are, serving everyone breakfast, and they're serving the men breakfast and everything. And Joan ends up getting a little triggered when the kids come through, and Ruth starts getting triggered too once she sees Tally's daughter. So then Ruth tries to go away to throw up and cry because, she can't handle it. So then Manny goes with her because he's been told to protect her and everything, but then she tells Manny to go away because she needs some space. So she ends up throwing up and crying this and that and the third. So then Zane is taking a shower. So Zane's taking a shower, and Manny sees her taking a shower. He basically tells her, remember when I told the highest I wanted you to marry me? Yeah, we never went back to that conversation, but he forgot about it, but we'll go back to that conversation. I'm letting you know now, you will be my wife and this and that and the third. And basically harassing her. Meanwhile, Teresa sneaks up behind Ruth and starts beating her and choking her out, asking her about the money. And they end up having a little scuffle, and then that's when Manny comes in and stops it, and they basically, they start bringing her to the highest. So then Elder Mother goes into the kitchen and sees that the lock is a little different. It's a little off. So then Andrew comes in asking for a plate because he woke up late. And then, she ends up questioning Andrew about the lock. And he's like, oh, I don't know anything about the lock. I don't know what you're talking about. And she's like, we're going to find out. We're going to find out. We're going to find out. So then River comes in and basically saying that, Peter needs to play too. So then she ends up giving Peter and Andrew a play. And, they're basically just talking or whatever. And River basically explains to Andrew that, Peter's still alive and he might be, he might remember stuff. So then River goes to see Peter in the infirmary to see what exactly everything he knows, and he doesn't remember anything. So, that's kind of a good sign that he doesn't remember nothing at all. So then, Joan is cleaning up after breakfast, and she sees Zane, and Zane's like freaking out, telling her about Manny. She's like, Ruth's not gonna let that happen to you, and this and that and third. So now River comes out of nowhere and asking for the code, and he's basically like, Ruth's now on her side, we need to get the code and get up out of here. Joan's refusing and this and that and third. And meanwhile, they see Ruth and Mandy dragging Teresa to the highest trailer. They're like, what's going on? They're like, that's going to happen to us if we don't get out of here. So then they bring Teresa to the highest and explains to him that she was a runaway that betrayed them. And that's how the episode cut off. So that was the end of this episode. And I'll see you guys next week for episode 5 of Ruthless.